What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Deadpool Wolverine, aka Deadpool 3. So yesterday, we got a new trailer with literally no new footage, 5 seconds, kind of funny. But what's more interesting is we got a lot of new information yesterday, which confirms cameos, confirms a lot of stuff. But what I find freaking wild is ticket sales are active for a movie that comes out July the 26th, and we're not even in June. That is so freaking wild. We here in England, we don't really pre-book anything. I've not pre-booked anything since Avengers Endgame back in 2019. So it's going to be interesting when I look at the pre-sales, and they're doing a midnight screening, and I live in the middle of nowhere. So yes, there is huge hype, but is this desperation from Disney, or is this to build the hype train? I can't work it out, because it is, we haven't even got the final trailer yet, and tickets are already on sale. The anticipation is at all-time high. But why didn't they actually drop a real trailer instead of dropping literally an extended cut of a sequence that we already know about? Not hating, just an observation from someone that's been doing this for over 5 years. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content that I try to cover on a daily basis. Go subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know if you secured the tickets, even though it's not really that hard because the movie comes out months away. And if you could, become a channel member for less than 99p, less than $1. And if you could, you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram at Warstu, and please follow me over there. I would much appreciate that. And if you could, follow us on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into today's video. So, I'm sorry, guys, my bad. I said there was going to be a real kind of TV spot, at least 1 minute. I mean, the people I trusted told me there would be something new. But sorry, lads, there was literally nothing. New set for an extended sequence where Deadpool's like, almost done. And then Wolverine's like, shh, almost done. And then he's like, oh God. Yeah, it was the scene where the katanas, basically where they're fighting. And in the background, you can see some people dressed up. And no, it's not Doctor Doom. It's really not. Although they kind of look like Doctor Doom. No, as we know, careful for spoilers, there is going to be Cassandra Nova, and she's going to be controlling her cronies in what looks like the Void, or Battle World as some people are calling it. And if you don't do what Casanova says, then Alioth will basically kill you, and there's going to be some resistance. And that is where we've seen Elektra in the trailer. Although in a recent interview, Ryan Reynolds, Sean Levy, and Hugh Jackman basically were asked questions about characters that we know are in the movie. Is Storm in the movie? No, but I had a Storm figure when I was younger. Something like that, I'm paraphrasing, but it's interesting because as someone who's, you know, asked questions in press junkets and in person to, you know, people during a press junket, the questions get vetted. Like, they have to okay what you ask. So asking questions about characters that we already know are in the movie is absolutely freaking wild, because it's interesting. They're trying to hold back and not spoil so much, which I understand, because these cameos, they're only cameos. They're not really going to add much to the overall story. Like I keep saying, unless it makes sense from the narrative, it's not really going to add much. So we got a new synopsis that reveals all. That's a famous title that I use, and this is coming from Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios presents their most significant mistake to date. Deadpool and Wolverine, a listless Wade Wilson tolls away in civilian life. His days as the moral, flexible, mercenary Deadpool behind him. When his homeworld faces an extraterrestrial threat, Wade must reluctantly suit up again. With even more reluctancy, he must convince a reluctant Wolverine to Synopsis are so good. Oh my God, this reveals so much. And it's interesting that they're playing into this R-rated, loudmouth, swearing synopsis, which is funny because we've had so many synopsis for this movie, which is fascinating. So you're going to see a pattern now. So what happens is Ryan Reynolds was asked about his friend Taylor Swift. Is she going to be in Deadpool and Wolverine? And of course, as soon as this happens, the scoopers come out and start talking about it. Well, from everything we understand here, from what people are telling me behind the scenes, I can't actually get a real answer. So some people are saying, oh, Taylor Swift is going to be playing the Dazzler because there's a Dazzler comic book run just being released, and the more reliable people are basically saying Taylor Swift is playing a variant of herself. So Ryan Reynolds had this to say: there's so much speculation about so many people that might end up in the film. I saw one that was convinced that Elvis is in the movie. Surprises are the essence of Deadpool. I find that interesting. And then a non-account basically a non-account, a fake account, a bot account. Daniela or Daniel, okay, we don't know who it is. Taylor Swift reportedly had a good meeting with Kevin Feige for a role in the MCU. Interested. So as we know, Taylor Swift's world popular, famous tour was recently, she had a big deal with Disney. It ended up on Disney Plus. Taylor Swift has massive connections inside Disney. So recently, Taylor Swift's had loads of meetings over at Disney. Disney and Marvel is basically the same thing. So for this to come out hours after Ryan Reynolds officially spoke about, oh, is Taylor in the movie? Although he's basically denying everything, he's not confirming or denying. He's doing pretty good, like, you know, bait and choke where he's answering the question without actually answering the question. So is Taylor Swift going to be in the movie? No one knows. She's not an actor, although she has done bits here and there. I don't actually believe she's going to be in the movie any more than a throwaway cameo role that we've been hearing about. So there's a lot of chatter from certain channels talking about how Bob Iger and Ryan Reynolds are having constant fights about the movie not being R-rated. So in a recent Variety interview, this was said, Ryan Reynolds is very surprised Disney allowed Deadpool and Wolverine to be such a hard R. And we already know it's hard R just based on the trailer. I hope it doesn't sound condescending. I'm really proud of them for doing this. I think it's a huge step for them. I mean, it adds a whole other color to the cope wheel, is that the company and the different people that they have been entertaining forever. I was surprised though that they let us go hard R, but very grateful. I mean, there's no other way to do it. And he was totally spot on. So when you have people saying, oh, there's going to be a Wolverine movie, but it was cut and there was going to be World War II Wolverine scenes and they were cut because Bob Iger said they were far too violent. Well, Woodrizzy, I personally hear everything. And I've not heard one person come out with these World War II Wolverine scenes were cut. Absolute nonsense. But, you know, it's just like Doctor Strange 2, Endgame, Infinity War. If you say something and you've got a slight bit of an audience, people will actually listen. So tickets are now on sale for Deadpool and Wolverine. Now I've looked at my local cinema, which is wild because we're in May, and I've flicked it through to July, and there is a midnight screening in the UK. Like I said, people in the UK generally don't care to book tickets early. And I've looked at the midnight screening and it's less than half full. Does that mean there's no hype? No, it's just generally people in England don't actually pre-book tickets. But I've just gone through and looked for the first week, July the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. To be fair, it looks like Deadpool and Wolverines, there's literally a screening from 10:30 to 10 at night every hour or half an hour. So it looks like Disney has literally taken over the cinema. And I've flicked in a few of them and basically they're mostly half full. But yeah, I presume you're probably going to see on Twitter that some of the cinemas are over half full. But generally there will be the big IMAXs. Like if I was to go and look at the IMAX Waterloo in London, which is one of the best IMAXs in England, that'll probably be mostly full. But most of the cinemas won't be full. And then you have the people that have the Cineworld Pass or the Odeon Pass here in England where you can literally book unlimited tickets for a whole, you can literally go watch anything for X per month. So I'm not saying this movie isn't going to bang, but I mean, I just can't see this movie being a $2 billion movie like every single person thinks it is. Sure, the Wolverine movies did well. Sure, the Deadpool movies did well. But has it really got the Spider-Man No Way Home, the Infinity War, the Endgame level hype? I don't actually think it has, sadly. But I might be wrong. It is a very good movie. From everything we hear at the Warstu channel, there's been a lot of reports of what people are saying about there's been a final test screener and people have seen it's a very good movie. Okay, but the problem with this is everyone keeps saying the same thing, except for the one person that told me it's still a crazy movie, but I was a little bit disappointed. So it's interesting because, and then you have some people saying, well, the reshoots are still going on. Okay, the reshoots are still going on, but multiple people that have somewhat of an audience are saying that the movie is pretty much locked, except for CGI being added, VFX, touching up things here and there. The final runtime of this movie is basically locked, and of course, the feedback is going to be good, but you can't really trust feedback. Because Thor Love and Thunder was fine, sure, but the feedback for Love and Thunder was freaking amazing. And then the feedback for the Flash movie, the greatest movie ever. You had James Gunn saying it's the greatest movie ever. So in-house test screening, it's not really the best to go by, to be honest. Is it? No. So I believe it will be a very good movie. And sure, there are a lot of cameos, and sure, most of the cameos going around are somewhat true, but I'm still really surprised that no one has dropped what the post-credits scene is. That's the most surprising thing for me. But over the next few days, just look what comes out with the interviews with Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Sean Levy, then look how the scooper would say something that is literally the same, going, yeah, that actor was recently in it. But it's like them saying Elektra, oh, Elektra's not in the movie. When Disney has officially revealed her, she's in the trailer, you can see her fighting with the Resistance. And we know that Storm's in the movie. We know that all the X-Men are going to be in the movie in a flashback. But it is cool. It is cool because I think now, because there's been a slight shift in the scooper game, a lot of the scoopers are not being as full on and not just coming out with stuff like they used to. That's the problem, is we used to be able to do theories, rumors, but now these scoopers, they got a bit of a big head and would shut down rumors and theories when realistically a theory shouldn't be shut down. It's almost like they're being tamed by Disney or something, because a lot of them aren't shutting down rumors and theories. And that's really what, like, you know, the Marvel fandom's about, is theories and stuff like that. And if scoopers are just going to come out and outright say, no, that doesn't happen, which is funny, because if you actually knew where most of these scoopers got their information from, you wouldn't actually believe them. But that's not my place to say. I will try and do things differently. I know people don't like it when I have a little shots here and there, but it's just satire. It's just sarcasm. It ain't that deep, but it is cool that there is hype from Marvel once again, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And yeah, I know I haven't done a plot leak video for Deadpool 3 recently. It's because I can't put it out there until someone else says something. I don't want to be that guy that puts out new information that no one else has got. I wish I could, but I just can't be that guy. So likewise, guys, let us know your predictions. How do you think this movie's going to end? What is the post-credit scene? And what are you anticipating with Marvel going forward? We dropped a Spider-Man 4 video yesterday and Venom 3 video that no one watched, but it's cool, you know. We're getting back on the Marvel stuff, so it's probably not going to do as well as it did before, but I will be covering everything Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, and I will be putting out much more content going forward. So hopefully you can support the channel. I do appreciate the love, the feedback, the hate, just anything interaction-wise is good for me. So like always, guys, I will catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.